Hi, this is Demi Riquísimo. I'm here with Future Music Mag, and we're going to go through some of the synth sounds I used for my new track, Windows 95 Anthem. I thought we would start with the beginning of the track, which makes sense. So I'm just going to play the little intro here, which it kind of goes straight into a kind of drum into a bass line. So very, very simple bass line on this one. Kind of early 90s trancey vibes. It's got a very tough kick and drum pattern going on. So it cuts through this bass quite nicely. So it's a really simple sawtube bass line on here, which I have a low decay and a low release, and it's just... It's literally just two notes. I could have gone more interesting, could have done something like that. I didn't need to, because there was a lot of other stuff moving around synth-wise, which is kind of like an undertone bass, really. And the groove of this bass, when you listen to the bass on its own with the kick drum, it's actually a little bit boring, but the groove of this jungly loop really helped move it along. So the other is kind of like a mid-range bass that comes in, and that's on here. So if we move over here, because I'm using all the presets I make on here, I have to label on the channels on here, otherwise I'll never find them again. So this is... Here we go. So this is a kind of a mid-rangey bass. Has no low range. It's actually quite stereo, and it's kind of phasing a little bit. And it was just at this kind of sweet spot where it's kind of slightly resonating. And it's on its own, and it doesn't actually sound amazing. It sounds a bit thin, but with all the other elements going on at the same time, it actually sounds super thin on here. I've actually added just a little stereo spreader, to make it even a little bit wider, because I think it's quite nice to have that balance between the stereo width in that mid-range, and then everything below 200 hertz is very mono, so it's quite nice to add a bit of that depth there. So the other sound in there, and it's not actually a synth that's here, so this is actually, it's a sample from a JX3 sampler patch, which is it's an old analog synth, but I don't actually have the synth here. And it's just like a Rave key, basically. So here it's just like... Ooh. So yeah, this is just basically, they're really great. You can get these if you're looking for like sometimes a vintage sound and you don't actually have a synth on you, or if you're traveling on the go and like a VST isn't quite cutting the mustard. These sounds are quite good, and this is just a Rave kind of sound that's mapped over a keyboard, and you can open it in any sampler on any DAW, and yeah, the melody was like this. So that goes like that. So this is this. So this track kind of progresses like that, very simply, to be honest. It comes down, brings up things, filter in and out, very subtly. They're all happening together now, apart from that mid-range thing we just played with. Everything has its own space, and there are 5 elements happening at the same time here, which is, for me, perfect. There's no need for more at this point. So here we've got some other. So this is a little like plucky, stringy sound, well, guitar-y sound really, which just helps. So. Here it was a bit too like synthy, a bit too like. Here it sounded really sounded literally like plucking on a guitar. So the next section is like the whole track completely changes and it goes in a completely different direction, which isn't something I always or normally do, but I felt that stabby sound does go on a little bit. So I wanted to switch it up and turn it into something a little bit more like mid-latey, has a little bit more of a lift. So this is just. So I'm actually triggering this now as a MIDI controller from this M1 rack, which is basically, everyone knows about the M1, classic synth. It's absolutely massive though, no room for it in here. So this is the rack version of it. It's not actually mine, it's my friend Louis', but it's really great. And then you can just trigger it through other MIDI keyboards. So this is a string, this is just a classic string preset. It's too light. So it's kind of got this euphoric lift off, so it kind of goes from this ravey stabby bit to kind of breaking down. So I've kept the little plucky guitar-y sound going along, and it's just this again. Maybe even been higher. So it kind of breaks down into this little section. And then we go super 90s trancey. So this element, we've still got the strings staying in, all the drums are the same, the bass is the same, we've just got this new element that's coming in here. And this is on this old Casio CZ 3000. Sounds like a harmonica, really. And it's doing the same, notes, really. This is how I recorded it in, really simply, just like this. And And then if we go onto here, it sounds like it's gated. That's how it actually sounds. We've got a simple echo delay. No, that's a tape delay and a chorus, and that's it really. If we listen to it without anything on there at all, very simple. It's very simple, but it's kind of like brassy and scratchy, and it really cuts through the mix nicely, and it's kind of finishes off the track really. Yeah, and those are pretty much all the synths in the track. So without a doubt, this is my favourite synth. It's my first analog synth, first bit of proper hardware I got about 10 years ago. It kind of has a bit of a sound of many famous bass synths all in one, but they're not all quite as good as the original one, so it's a bit like a Moog, it's a bit like an SH-101, but to be honest, by the time you put them into the mix, for me, they sound just as good. I always put them through the mixer first and EQ them, because for this one, it's a little bit... It has some really, really cool sounds in the mid-range around 200 hertz, like some really, really cool frequency modulation stuff. But sometimes you lose a bit of the sub bass even when you add it on it. So if you just tweak it a bit on there, that helps a lot. So we can get it on here. But I mean, I've written many tracks on this. I mean, it's also got a really great ARP section. I did a track called Dictionary of Fools, and it's literally one note down. That's literally an arpeggiator, but it's what kind of working with the modulation envelope, which gives it a bit of a swing kind of thing, like it would on a kind of TD3. And you can put it. It's got a great little sound. So I highly recommend that one. And then this synth here is the Prologue. There's one called, is it called the Mini-Log? The Mini-Log. I don't love it that much, but I love this Prologue version. It's bigger, it's got 8 voices instead of 4, which basically means you can play 4, you can play 8 keys at the same time instead of 4. And I bought this at the beginning of lockdown. It's kind of like a little treat to myself, because I just I'd never had a hardware synth or an analog synth, kind of that was specialising in the mid-range stuff. So I was really keen to get one of these. It's really good. It mixes, it has 2 analog oscillators and a digital one. You can mix them together, you can have them on their own. You've got these kind of plucky sounds, which are great, which we just went over. So, but it's also got these really like detuned analog sounds, like, and it's just got a really lovely warm sound to it. And it's got some lovely key sounds. What we got in here? It's got a whole little like yeah. I did a track called Tutukaka, which is a place I have a strong admire for in New Zealand, and it just had a little, on the drop, it's kind of got that really nice 80s chord feel to it. It's also got some great bass sounds on it. I mean, you could easily make a whole album with this track, with this synth, sorry. It's got some good bass sounds. I don't use... That's a track I did called Rush Common. Literally, I've done a lot of... If you're a drum bass head, you can do some good stuff on there. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this one.